Good evening, folks, and welcome to a Tuesday night edition of Bun Talk. I am your charismatic host, Che Bums, along with my co-host,
Danny Bums,
who is wearing a Spider-Man mask for the new Spider-Man movie, Far From Home. Let's go.
Yep, in theaters now. Go check it out. It was really, really good.
Came out last weekend, 4th of July weekend, so
Good stuff.
Good stuff, yeah.
Night Monkey. This suit is called the Night Monkey.
The Night Monkey. Where's the ranking of Spider-Man movies? There's been 7 in total, right? 3 from the original. No, 5. Yeah, 3 plus 2 plus 2, 7. Yeah.
The best 4 are the first 2 from the original and these 2.
Okay, so we're gonna completely just ignore Andrew Garfield's little run.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the one I saw in the movie theaters, I didn't like. I think it was part 2. I didn't like that one at all. Yeah,
that's the reason why they rebooted.
Went down. It wasn't. Anyway, guys. So happy Tuesday. I do apologize. I am a little bit under the weather. Danny Bones is wearing a Spider-Man mask, but there was a big UFC card this weekend. And usually it's the biggest card of the year. July International Fight Week, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I'm tired of that. No, it's not.
Well, it's supposed to be
the biggest card of the year when Connor fights.
Yeah, but traditionally, because the long holiday weekend, the Hall of Fame, the International Fight Week, the whole convention. So yeah, it's just like a whole. I think from like Wednesday to like Sunday, the whole event.
They gotta stop, unless Connor fights on that card every year. They gotta stop calling it the biggest card of the year because Connor's he fights once a year.
Yeah, but
so he's gonna.
When they say fight, like I said, I think the word's used lightly because they got a lot of fan events and all that stuff, conventions and all that stuff. And it used to be also the Ultimate Fighter on Friday nights, but the Ultimate Fighter is coming back, I think, later this year on ESPN Plus. But yeah, it was arguably up until this point probably the biggest UFC card up into the year. It was stacked from all the 5 cards in the main card were all contenders, former contenders, future contenders, or even Hall of Famers because we had a Hall of Famer that fought that night. But Danny Bones, I'll throw the ball back to you. Where do you want to start off with this festivity of UFC 39?
Hello.
Right there. That was a good spot right there.
Hello. Okay. We're gonna start with UFC 239.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably, so far the biggest MMA card of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agree.
I think the biggest boxing card, the best boxing card, has probably been the Anthony Joshua one.
Mm-hmm. A few weeks ago.
Stacked, man.
Yeah, June 1st.
World champion after world champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been boxing's best card yet.
Up until
in terms of like cards.
Stacked, yeah.
I'm not talking about fights, but in terms of card. What do you want to start with? What do you want to start with there?
Well, yeah.
What do you want to do there, huh?
Well, I guess the opening card, the fight. I was tired at that point, but obviously it was like I mentioned, it was the original Ultimate Fighter season 1 winner, Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa, who also Ultimate Fighter. I'm not sure which season he won, but they're both Ultimate Fighter winners. And it was the veteran Diego Sanchez who just got inducted, I think, the day before to Hall of Fame against the new.
Oh, we're starting with the first fight?
Yeah.
We're not starting with the prelims?
It wasn't a prelims. I'm trying to think anything that stood out to me.
Gilbert Melendez?
Yeah. That guy's like 1-6 in the UFC since he came over to Strikeforce.
The Ecuadorian kid?
That's right. Cheeto, what's his name?
Marlon
Cheeto.
What the hell, man? You put so much shit on this.
Marlon Cheeto
chill out.
Vera, El Ecuatoriano. I think the only Ecuadorian in the UFC who's been there for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Who's in I think he said a 4-fight winning streak or 5-fight winning streak?
Yeah, 4-fight. He was lined up to fight Sean O'Malley.
Yes, that's correct. And then 2 weeks ago, right?
And then Sean O'Malley against Sean O'Malley being Sean O'Malley. That would have been such a good fight.
For a prelim, definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
I have no idea.
That probably would have been the headliner feature prelim if it wasn't for Sean O'Malley. Probably, most likely.
I mean, I know who the UFC to want to win that.
Yeah, of course, no doubt.
They love Sean O'Malley.
O'Malley.
Yeah, so.
He was last year's contender series, right? 2018 or 2017? 2017, because he made his debut in 2018. Because I remember he fought in the March card where Frankie fought Ortega, I think.
Yeah.
So I think he was the late 2017 class, or where.
And you can tell the UFC really wanted to push him because they put him on 229. which was
Habib,
Habib McGregor.
and then they tried to put him on 239.
And
Obviously,
that was a success because it elevated the careers of, at least social media wise, Derek Lewis and what's her name, Michelle Watterson.
That's right. Yeah, the karate hottie, and then obviously.
And that's how I know the name Dominic Reyes. He's still killing it, man.
Yeah, he is. Because he was in that card too, right? I believe.
Yeah, he killed that guy.
Has he fought since Dominic Reyes?
I think so. I think at least once he's fought.
I know Derek Lewis hasn't fought since New York, right? That for sure. I think hasn't fought.
No,
since.
he fought. He got knocked out by JDS.
Oh, that's right. Back in March in Wichita. Yeah, March. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Wichita,
Kansas. Yeah. But yeah, like Danny Blunt said, if Sean O'Malley was still in the card, that probably would have been the featured headliner bout for the prelims. But obviously about 2 weeks ago he pulled out because of some kind of I guess failed drug test or banned substance. I'm not sure what it is, but it's not the first time. I think it's like a second or third time where he's been tested for this banned substance. But from what I know, it's not obviously some kind of like enhanced talent. It's, I mean, I don't know. I guess some kind of drug or some kind of CBD. I'm not too sure. But like you said, the UFC's right behind them. They think they found the next star in him. But I guess he's got to take care of these situations before he picks up his next fight. But yeah, Chito Vera, he fought this guy who I believe they said it was either his first UFC fight or his second UFC fight, and I think the UFC experience showed who had the more experience.
I think the experience won the fight.
Besides the talent, because they're both relatively young, I remember. Yeah. But the experience there took over because in the second round, I think he just punched him, fell to the floor, and got the rear naked choke, and it was a wrap, like I said.
Yep.
I think his name was Alex Hernandez. It was a Spanish name. I don't really recall. But that was interesting. That was a good fight. I don't think he was ranked. I remember seeing the bottom score line there. So I think they'll probably he got four straight victories, so he'll probably be ranked, maybe, or maybe he'll get a ranked opponent. Who knows? We'll see. But que viva Ecuador, Chito Vera.
Yeah. So after that, let's go to the main card.
All right.
The first fight was Chiesa versus Diego Sanchez, who's coming off a pretty big win against
Mickey Gall, right?
New Jersey's very own Mickey Gall. Everyone expected Mickey Gall to kill him.
I think everyone did. A young cat going there.
Diego Sanchez finished him.
Uh-huh.
That gave Diego Sanchez a lot of confidence.
Oh, it definitely did, because like I mentioned, he's almost 40. He fought this kid who's probably, 22, 24. He goes, okay, I can still hang in with these young guns. Which, even though the result didn't go his way Saturday, he still kind of showed that he can still kind of hang in. Obviously, he got dominated, but he can still show he's got tough skin. He can still, take the hits and everything. But, yeah, like you said, Michael Chiesa's, I believe, the second fight at welterweight, because he fought, I think, Carlos Condit last year, I think. In
December.
Yeah, December card dominated him. Then he picked up Diego Sanchez really, really bad, I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, full domination.
But he didn't finish him.
No, he didn't.
Diego was good. He had some good scrambling.
He did. Because you did.
Chiesa's just his ground game's really good.
It is. And then I think it was, I don't know if it was Joe Rogan or John Anik, but even he still looks big at 185. Like they were saying, like he can possibly go to 205. Maybe he'll be smaller.
Who are you talking about?
Michael Chiesa.
He took fights at 170.
No, sorry, 185. Sorry, man. They mentioned that Rogan or Anik mentioned like he can even go up to even 185 because he's huge. Well, in height wise, obviously. I mean, yeah. Like you said, Diego Sanchez, the veteran, he hung there. Obviously a couple of times he could have got submitted, but like you said, he scrambled away. You saw his face was all beat up, but congrats to Michael Chiesa. He's also a tough winner fighter. I don't know what season. But congrats to him, His career has changed, and he lost to controversial to what's his name? Michael Lee, what's his name?
Who?
Kevin Lee.
Yeah,
Kevin Lee.
And he also got beat by Anthony Pettis. At 155.
Yeah, so go figure. So maybe this is the right division for him, obviously, because he was a tall lightweight first of all. So maybe this is the right division for him. The welterweight division, as we mentioned, is also stacked, very stacked. There was a couple welterweight fights this week, obviously, besides that one. And I think.
But what do you think? What happens? You think you want to see Diego retire? I definitely would like to, especially since he's in the Hall of Fame and stuff with one of the greatest fights in UFC history.
Yeah, absolutely correct. You don't want to go out the Michael Bisping way like he did last year. Like get killed by GSP and then take a fight like 5 seconds later, literally.
Killed by Kevin Gastelum.
A guy who's in his prime. Kevin's like 27, 26.
Easily in his prime.
So yeah, you know what? I guess you're right. When you think in hindsight, like you don't want to. You got inducted over the weekend, right? It's a big monument for your life. You don't want to go out with else. So either you retire or you maybe pick up a easy fight. I don't know, but you're right. I wouldn't mind him seeing retiring. He's been there since God knows how long since the first Ultimate Fighter, which is about 12 years ago, I think. 06,
probably more.
Probably more, yeah.
So 05.
05, yeah, I think you're right. That was the first Ultimate Fighter, so that's what 14 years in with the promotion. So man, he's been through multiple wars. Absolutely correct. But anyway, congrats to Diego Sanchez for being inducted. Obviously, the first ever Ultimate Fighter winner, and Michael Chiesa. You know, he definitely ranked opponent. Hopefully top 10. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he fights again in the winter, in the fall. So we'll see. But congrats to Michael Chiesa. I think he's a real deal, and he can be a contender in the welterweight division.
Definitely.
Just a lot of monsters there, but he's getting there. He's getting there.
Maybe they can match him up against the Kevin Lee rematch.
Oh, that's right. Kevin went up. You know, that would be a bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, because there was still some blood there, obviously, with the whole. Yeah, I remember that. It's not a bad idea. I would definitely like to run that again. That's a good idea, Danny Bumps. Anything else about this fight, Danny Bumps?
Nope.
All right. So the next fight was the debut of Luke Rockhold at 205, and I don't mean
middleweight champion.
And I don't mean 205 live. I mean the 205 light heavyweight division. Like Danny Bumps said, the former middleweight champion who lost to Michael Bisping about 3 years ago, 2016. Time goes by so fast, not even crazy. Making his debut against a ranked tough opponent in John Blachowicz, who was the number 6 ranked light heavyweight division. And there's a lot of talk about this fight, but in camp that Luke Rockhold looked really good during training camp.
I imagine he was gonna do well because of a better weight cut at 205.
I absolutely agree, and he had a lot of time to get ready for his fight. It wasn't like it was like a 4-6 week camp. Like this fight was.
I think they should have given him someone easier, but at the same time, nah.
I do agree with you in that one. They should have.
But at the same time, he is a world champion.
I think it's that.
He does deserve high caliber.
And then I think if he would have won that fight, depending on how the fight would have finished, probably Dana White would have considered maybe a title fight, depending on how the fight would have finished or how it went. But nonetheless, Luke Rockhold made his debut at 205 and started out strong in the first round. You know, he's a very acrobatic guy. He loves doing his kicks, his question mark kicks, and the spinning kick. He started out very strong, and Jan, I guess, being the veteran he is, you know, you could tell he paced himself. Wasn't stressed out, wasn't advancing too much. You know, a couple of jab and strikes, and then at the end of the first round, he saw a little. That wasn't an altercation, but there was a little bit of hits after the bell. But you know, that was still
he got clipped and right before the end of the round.
Yeah, so
and the bell saved him.
Absolutely correct. So could have ended. But in the second round,
I feel like he just emptied the tank.
Yeah, no, you saw he was gassed out because
he didn't really recover from that hit at the end of the first
because
round.
Rockhold for about 2 minutes had John against the fence like for a good 2 minutes, give or less, and you saw kind of fatigue, and then you know John just landed a jab and then just glass jaw, as we say in combat sport. He just fragile like gas and just fell, and then that was it. That was all she wrote, folks. Second round knockout to Luke Rockhold. That's 3 out of the last 4 fights where he's been knocked out.
I'm happy for Jan Blachowicz. That was his biggest win of his career.
Oh, most definitely. Especially a former champion, too.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you remember this, but I did. You know that John fought Thiago Santos back in February?
Who?
Thiago Santos? John Blachowicz?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fought back in February. It was a European card. I think it was a Polish card. I think that's what it was. And obviously Thiago won. But like you said, it's probably Jan's biggest victory till this day. You know, beating a former champ is already a big deal. Making his debut at heavyweight, so But like then it was like what you said, like you would have thought this cutting weight would have been much easier for him. He had a lot of time for this fight. This fight was announced like months ago too. It wasn't announced like Cerrone and Ferguson like 2-3 weeks out. So yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah,
I'm sure the weight cutting wasn't an issue, and we know that Luke Rockhold is a world class athlete, very flexible, very athletic. He has amazing striking, good grappling, but the jaw sometimes isn't just it's not there. Do you remember
guy has a glass jaw?
Remember 2 years ago I was in Colombia. I watched the Daya Branch fight. Daya Branch almost had him for 1 second.
Yeah,
almost had him, and then I recall Vega almost had him. Then he just got out of it. And then he knocked him out. But yeah, so that marks the last 4 fights. 3 have been knockouts for Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
Bisping in 2016.
The only time I ever saw him do really well was the first time I ever saw him fight back in December 2015 when he
fought Luke Rockhold.
Freaking destroyed
Dominated.
Chris Weidman.
Dominated
but I
Luke
think
Rockhold.
Weidman was hurt, or I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I do think that was true. But I think he was fighting
And at
injuries.
the time, like Weidman was like a dominant champion. For him to do that to Weidman made me think Luke Rockhold was the greatest.
I
And
agree.
then anything I saw after that was just the complete opposite.
I absolutely agree because so after that fight, obviously the rematch was with Wyman and Rockhold again, but Wyman got hurt like always. Then Bisping came into the picture, knocked him out. Then I think Bisping took a whole year off, fought Branch. He beat Branch. And then he fought Romero, I believe, last year for the interim title, and that wasn't pretty at all.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was really bad. And then he took almost another year plus change off, about a year and a half.
He fights once a year now.
More than a year now, but calendar year wise, but yeah, but he's fighting like every 14, 15 months now. But yeah, I mean, since post title, he's been 1-3. So, I don't know where he goes from here. I think I mentioned to you that Dana White had an interview with Megan Lee backstage, and he kind of said like he has a lot of money. He's a model for polo, so he basically said he should consider some other stuff.
Yeah, I think he basically said, I think it's time for him to put the gloves away, tying up the gloves. I agree, man.
He's still young. He's like in mid 30s, so it's not like he's old.
Yeah, so I think he should.
Yeah,
he should call it a day.
I absolutely agree.
Great fight.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
Luke Rockhold always, he always draws eyes because he's a good shit talker.
He definitely good. He definitely a good shit talker. Yes, and like I said, he's a world class athlete. The knockouts, the highlights. But yes, you're absolutely correct. Anything else about Luke Rockhold or Jan Blachowicz?
No. Who do you think they line him up with next?
In a perfect world, if Thiago wasn't hurt with these multiple MCL injuries, I would want to run Jan versus Thiago one more time. But I think Dana or he said it on Instagram or something like that or Facebook that he has multiple meniscus tears in his left foot, so he's probably out for the whole year, maybe even early next year. Yeah, but I would like to run that. But I mean, if I think about it now, maybe Anthony Smith. Obviously, Gustafsson just retired. Cormier is obviously kind of limbo in both divisions, so maybe Anthony Smith.
Anthony Smith, because I think they were trying to line up, if Rockhold won, they're going to line him up with Smith.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Smith and Gian is next.
I like that. Yeah, it's a good matchup. Jan Blachowicz is
or if he was still fighting for like a European card, it could have been.
It'd been a great European card.
Gus and Jan.
So you should pull it. That would have been a big European card. Most definitely. Glover Teixeira. I mean, he's still ranked, but he's already old. He's getting up there. But yeah, I think like you said, and Lionheart Smith versus Jan Blachowicz probably sounds about right for me.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, obviously Gustafsson retired. Dan Cormier's in a little bit of limbo right now. Obviously, with him, he's still defending his belt next month. So yeah, but I like that match. I definitely agree with Danny Bowen that one. So on to the next fight, which according to the UFC polls, it was the most fight people were looking forward to. I think it was like 40% overall, 39 to be exact. I think it was.
Holy hell!
It was another make the welterweight division great again fight. It was. The 170 division is nuts. It's between Jorge Gamebred Masvidal 3-piece meal, Cuban Jesus, whatever you want to call him, the Resurrection, versus Funkamania's all Ben Funky Askren. Everyone was on the hype train for this fight. Everyone wanted to watch it. The crap talking, the shit talking, whatever you want to call it. The back and forth on Instagram and on Twitter. Funky's good at talking crap. Online. Boom, roasted. That kind of stuff. And
yeah,
it's a lot to take in. Besides the aftermath of the fight, what happened, but like the pre stuff of the fight, all the shit talking, like Danny Bowen mentioned. Masvidal to me, like during the fight week, like he was very quiet to me. He wasn't talking a lot of shit. He was kind of like
not really. He was pretty hyped up for the fight.
But go ahead, Nails.
It was crazy, man. It was like, I feel like this guy ran into someone, man, that could match him both mentally, and obviously physically.
Of course.
Like that's clearly what happened. Like he just bested him.
He did, and it was literally like this fast.
It was
great. Finger snap. Like we legit. I think I sat down in the front couch.
And that
you
was
were on the
just
side.
Great, like just great planning, great execution.
It was.
It's not hard. It's not easy to hit that. Too.
No, it's definitely not because Dana said it.
Like Dana said, that Ben is a guy who only fights one style only.
Yeah.
99.9% of the chances the fight starts and he's going to shoot for his life.
Mm-hmm.
Because his stand-up game is terrible. I'm pretty sure I can outbox him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. So obviously, boom, that was insane.
Boom, roasted. He got roasted there.
Yeah.
He got boom roasted basically. And like Danny Boom says, it was technically it was 5 seconds because by the time that Masvidal punched him, the ref stopped. But the fight probably lasted a second and a half, maybe
2 seconds,
two at most. But obviously with Masvidal, throwing the punches, and then by the time the ref came to stop the fight, it did go to 5 seconds, which equals to the fastest knockout in UFC history.
Wow.
McGregor still owns the record for fastest knockout in the championship bout.
Yeah,
Two different categories. But still, nonetheless, 5 seconds is literally, like that. But yeah, and then it was revealed, I guess, that same night or like hours later, whatever, that he had practiced that same move like a day or two prior.
Yeah.
Obviously, it made social media, it was. And then he mentioned in the interview, he mentioned to me that he wanted to do it. It was just a matter of fact when to do it.
Yeah.
He said whether end of the first round or the next round. So.
I mean, as a fan, I was robbed. I felt a little disappointed because I was robbed because I just really wanted to see a fight.
Yeah, I agree.
I really appreciate Ben's like wrestling style because he's a master wrestler. So I wanted to see some of that, and I just wanted to see a fight. But at the same time, that was insane.
It was.
That did not disappoint.
It didn't. And then you saw Masvidal at the end.
Oh my god.
He did a Stone Cold, like got into his face like that.
It was. Yeah, I saw that meme.
He did like a Stone Cold. He got a Stone Cold reference there. But yeah, he took it from him, and then I think he said the next day on the Halawani show that he baptized 2 guys in the past few 2 months.
Yep.
Till back in London, Liverpool, and then Askren over here in Las Vegas over the weekend. But I don't know, man. I mean, we speak a lot about these divisions, and the welterweight division has a lot of names, a lot of contenders, obviously, and let's play matchmaker. Where do you see Gamebred now?
I see him definitely possibly in title contention.
Okay, I agree. Absolutely agree.
I don't know what they do with him next.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I think I do know what to do with Ben Askren.
Go ahead.
You give him either Darren Till.
Okay.
You give him Michael Chiesa. Or you give him possibly the winner or loser of, it's too far out, Edwards and RDA. Or the winner or the loser of
or possibly Lawler versus
Kobe
yeah.
and Lawler, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So
something like that.
There's a lot of options there, the welterweight division obviously, like most divisions, it is kind of stacked. Obviously, Komuro just got the belt 4 months ago in March, so I'm assuming he'll defend sometime in the fall.
Yeah, he's hurt.
He's hurt?
He's hurt.
Oh, okay.
Well, he had surgery.
Post-fight, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So he's hurt. So you would figure that he'll probably fight sometime down in the fall, maybe winter, maybe for the New York card or the Las Vegas card in December. But just looking at the rankings here real fast, Danny Bums. Oh my God, this is really packed. So you said RDA is in the fight Leon Edwards, right?
Yeah, in September.
Damn, Leon's ranked 11 and RDA is ranked 4. Tyrone's number 1, obviously. Robbie's number 10. He's fighting Kobe Covington, who's number 2. So Robbie wins. That puts Kobe at the bottom of the totem pole for title belts. I don't want to hear his name anymore if he loses to Robbie Lawler. If he does, but we'll see what happens.
Breaking news.
What we got over here? Tell me that, Bones.
Coming for the world of MMA.
Go ahead.
Former title contender and alpha male legend Chad Mendes
Retires?
has informed ESPN that he's officially retired from mixed martial arts.
There you go. Congratulations, Chad Mendes. His last fight, he got dominated.
Yeah, but Volkanovski.
Yeah. He'll also be
that
out.
guy needs a strap.
He'll also be Aldo back in Rio, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely gets the winner of Edgar and Holloway.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. You beat a former contender in Mendes and you beat a champion in Aldo. You're definitely in Dana's little circle.
Oh yeah.
So just looking here real fast. So Pettis fighting Nate Diaz, obviously. So that's another thing. That's another equation. Diaz affected. If he wins, he's probably on top of the totem pole. And then Santiago Ponce Himbo hasn't fought since last November. I don't know why.
There's also that. Oh, I think he's like turned down fights or whatever.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that guy needs to fight, man.
Yeah, he definitely does because he's a contender.
That's another match for Ben Askren. I don't know. It's such a lively.
And Steven Thompson too.
Oh, fuck that guy. He's done.
Yeah,
he just got knocked out.
His peak was 2017, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, the welterweight division is definitely
16, 17, because then he beat Masvidal. He outpointed Masvidal.
Yeah, it was the New York card. Yeah.
I don't know how that Masvidal. I think Masvidal had just like a weird year. I think now
it was weird because remember he took off all 18 because of the Telemundo show.
Well, yeah, and then other things, yeah.
And then obviously other things, because I think he was filming a movie, and all that stuff. So he took a year off because he lost to Daniel Maia back in May of 2017. Then he lost to
very close fight.
Yeah, it was. Then he lost to Thompson. So I guess let me take a year off, and it worked out for him because he's got 2 knockouts in a matter of what 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And they were both really fast, so he earned those paychecks. So good for him. He's a veteran. He's like 13, 14 losses.
An absolute veteran.
But that's part of the game. But yeah, like I said, in MMA things can change. Obviously, the Nate Diaz rule. If he wins out somehow next month, he might jump everybody just because it's Nate Diaz.
The UFC, man.
Or Tyrone probably. I guarantee Nate wins. Tyrone calls out Nate Diaz. Tyrone will come out of injury.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I want to fight Nate Diaz in October.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So, from the welterweight to the co-main event.
Yeah.
2 fierce women. One considered the greatest of all time. The other one, a former boxer. Both have in common, they both knocked out Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
One by a head kick, and the other one just clobbering her face away.
Yep.
And we talked about this before, off the air, when like this fight will definitely cement who is the best woman fighter in MMA history. And with no doubt in my mind, I was going for Amanda Nunes the whole time. I really was.
I was going for Holly only because it's just to make the story interesting.
It keeps the ball. I get you.
But this just solidifies Amanda. The people that she's beaten in the first round. And it's just insane.
Miesha Tate.
First round.
For the title. And then we'll skip Valentina. That's a different story. Who's probably her biggest opponent, her hardest opponent. Then she knocked out Cyborg easily, and then she beat Holly Holm with her own move,
insane,
the kick, and she just fell. But Danny Bums he hit it right in the dot. Like she's beat every great woman. She beat Ronda. She beat Miesha. She beat Cyborg, Holly Holm, arguably the pioneers of women MMA.
She's something else. I think she's the greatest of all time.
You cannot.
I don't agree when she's the greatest female combat sports athlete of all time. I think
two different categories and arguments. I absolutely agree with Danny Bums. They're two different.
Yeah, I think I have to give that to Clarissa Shields.
Okay.
Like you're talking 2 Olympic
gold medalists.
2 division champion in under 10 fights. One of those divisions. Undisputed,
come
on.
Yeah, no.
What are we talking about?
You're absolutely correct about that. But what this woman has done in 3 years, because it was July 2016, she won. She beat Miesha Tate. What she's done in these 3 years, her meteoric rise is just.
Yeah,
she's something else.
I think, real quick.
Go ahead.
I think she should defend the 45 belt against Cyborg.
Yes, I think they mentioned that's the plan.
That's the plan. And I think, because I feel like Cyborg does a rematch, especially just like a Stipe, just because sometimes these, I don't want to say they're flukes, but it's too fast,
Yeah.
Like you want to see them really fight,
Like go distance. So I absolutely agree.
I want to see with Cyborg and
Amanda. That's contingent, obviously, she wins her fight next,
course,
in 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah, the Holloway card.
The 240 card. Which that card isn't really built that strong. I don't really saw the card during the fight. It's just really those two fights.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, I'm not surprised. To this day, and I've told you multiple times, I think Amanda's biggest rival is going to be Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah. Maybe Valentina can come back up and try and.
I think Valentina will. I think Valentina will try again. I think she would.
I think that's probably the plan, and then probably post Cyborg. I think if I was Amanda, I'd fight Cyborg, beat her, and then fight Valentina one more time, and then probably let's say call it.
I would call her. Because she's still young. I mean, she could retire and do something else.
Yeah.
Because Valentina's fighting, I think, next month in Uruguay. I think next month or early fall for her title. I think Valentina should go on 115 too. Challenge for another belt.
I don't know about that, but.
But yeah, I agree with your plan, Danny Bums. You know, if Cyborg wins in July, fire in December, then sometime next year, you know, the trilogy between Valentina and Amanda. Because to this day, it's the only one she hasn't finished. Because the first time they fought was at 196. I remember that fight. It went back and forth. And the second time, I think you said it was a split decision. I think between both of them.
Yeah.
So that's tough. That's very tough.
Really close fight.
Valentina she's a natural born killer. She's nothing. She's small, but she can fight.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, congrats to the lioness Amanda Nunes, the greatest woman
MMA fighter of all time.
Mm-hmm. Can't argue that. I want to see her against this lady from PFL, the 155 girl, the big girl.
Yeah.
I forget what her name is, but yeah, it's all fantasy all the time. But anyway, from the co-main event to the main event of the evening, John Bonnie Jones, UFC light heavyweight champion versus new contender Thiago the Hammer Santos. I made the nickname up. A contested fight, to say the least. I was surprised.
A what?
Contested fight. I was surprised. I was really surprised how on both sides how Jones struggled a little bit and how Thiago went through war.
I was not surprised at all.
Went through war.
I've watched this guy's last couple of fights and he just is the real deal. I knew he was serious. I knew he was going to give John some
a run for his
problem.
Money.
I knew he was a real test of the new kids coming up,
mm-hmm.
the new generation, and that's exactly what I expected. That's the fight I expected. That man is so tough. That's up tough there with They're really playing this off. Especially, I was watching this interview today with Dana. He's just so adamant. He's so adamant about saying how like John Jones dominated that whole fight. Which is completely...
No. I
don't think so.
Neither.
He goes like, anyone who says otherwise should never score a fight again. I think that's the UFC and him like protecting
pushing their agenda. Yeah, their agenda.
Pushing the trilogy, obviously, with...
of course,
or a bigger fight with Jones.
There's always...
He even said, Dana said, I'm not looking for a rematch. That's obvious why.
And
they're probably over the moon happy that this guy's out for over a year because now he can't.
They probably are, yeah. Like, you know what? We don't want to wish you bad luck, but you're out for a while, so you can't talk and say I'm a rematch because you're out for a long time. But then, I think you hit it right in the spot. Regarding Dana White and UFC's plan with John Jones, because you had mentioned that after the post fight, John says he wanted to fight either Stipe next or even Cormier, depending obviously who wins next month in Anaheim, which I think personally Cormier will win. I think personally he'll win, but we'll see what happens. Time will tell. Yeah. But the fight was great. I also had a 3-2. I did, and it's the first time in John Jones' championship career.
But then I don't disagree with the decision. I also had a 3-2. I thought John edged it,
and
I
agree.
did see a lot of John was way more aggressive. I feel. And something I did notice about John, if they were to run it back, John would definitely win. What I noticed about John, and I compliment him, is that he knew that this guy was like an expert boxer, Muay Thai fighter.
Yes.
And he wanted to keep it. He wanted to beat him like that. John could have easily taken this guy out
to the ground,
obviously John is a stellar wrestler, so if John, I give props to John.
So you're absolutely correct, and I think I mentioned that the next day. I think a big reason why John did win too is because he was the more aggressive. He was advancing more, and he had more UFC. He had more octagon control time. Like he was the aggressor. Clearly, I agree with you. He was more aggressive. He was landing more kicks. But yeah, I mean. This is John Jones. I believe in his championship run, his first time that a judge has scored him a loss.
Yeah.
So that tells you a lot about, obviously, I think Thiago Santos.
And Dana's so adamant how it was the most dominant performance by John Jones.
Definitely not the most dominant performance by John Jones. Definitely not. Dominant performance was Masvidal versus Askren. That's dominant. That's total dominant. That's total domination.
Or the girls fighting.
Yeah, that's total domination. Yeah, there you go. A fight that went the distance clearly, and we know that Chase won. That's total domination. So, but like you said, Dana has his agenda and all that stuff. He likes to protect his fighters. It's I think well documented or well known to say at least.
And he sounded like just such a promoter, like a boxing, because You know how like Dana can never really be biased.
Yeah.
Because he's always promoting both fighters in fights.
Like, but it's clear sometimes. Like you said, it's pretty clear sometimes. You know, on whose side he's always on to a certain extent. But like you said, I mean, Bo's gonna question him. He's the president, you know. So it is what it is.
So who do you want? I mean, you want to see him?
So he did say I did catch an interview the following day. He wants to fight in December. So I'm assuming for Vegas again. I want to see him fight in New York. To be honest, I think he needs. I think he needs it too. But whatever.
I think the fight will be between the winner of
Yeah.
Because he came back and he fought two big guys, like two big up and coming guys, and beat them. So I think he can. It's like, you know, in boxing when you take care of a mandatory.
Yes.
I think he took care of two mandatories.
He did, and
beating Gus for the fight.
He beat Gus back in December, obviously. Then he beat Lionheart back in March, and then now he beat Santos. I absolutely agree with you. I think the winner next month he'll go up the weight class and he'll challenge for that belt. Obviously, the UFC is hoping that Cormier wins, which I think Cormier will win. I don't see him losing this fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
we all know the UFC wants him to win.
But it's cool. It's a trilogy in a different weight class. If that's
I would
a plan.
love to see it in heavyweight. I've said it before. I've said it on Twitter because we all know what's going to happen in light heavyweight.
Yes, we've seen it twice already.
It's just a chance for John to be great again. Like for him to beat this guy in another weight class with that advantage. That's something that would definitely interest me.
And for the record, if that fight's to happen, we know clearly who Dana White is going for. You don't have to ask who he's going for.
Absolutely.
John has the potential to be the greatest fighter in the world. You know, he's gotta fix his problems. That's typical Dana White there.
That was the UFC 239.
That was
best card of the year so far.
It definitely was. So we got a few minutes left. We're gonna go over this Sunday's pay-per-view, Extreme Rules. We went to Raw last night. It was my first Raw. I know you went to Raw 25. So just quickly, what do you think of Raw last night?
It was pretty good, man. I like I see that direction that Paul Heyman is doing.
Oh, I agree.
It's definitely more Attitude Era-ish, less PG-13, shying away, which I enjoyed it. And it was great, man. It was good action, good fights, good matches. It was fun, man.
Absolutely correct. But I mean, I've only gone two SmackDown and one Raw. It's always just weird not hearing the commentating.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's just part of the fact. It's like going to a UFC fight or the boxing fight. You're not gonna hear commentating.
Yeah.
But overall, we had good seats, by the way. Very good seats.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a send off show to Extreme Rules, and yesterday we saw some of the fights they showed on the teleprompt for the fight. So there's a lot of fights that to me look really good on paper. So Danny Bond, I'm gonna run through some of them, and then you tell me who you're gonna go for, right?
Do it.
This one for me is, I love this. It's the last chance winner take all extreme mixed tag team matches. Seth Rollins, the Man, versus Becky Lynch, the Man, versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. I love that.
It's the main
match.
event, right?
I'm if it's Taker, I don't know. See, it's Undertaker. That's why.
Wait, what'd you just say?
I would assume this is the main event, but Undertaker's in the card too, so
yeah, that's a good match. I mean, hopefully they play it out right.
They would.
I imagine they won't, and I imagine they'll
botch it.
They'll defend their titles, retain, because next month is SummerSlam, and if anyone's going to drop a title, it's going to be them.
Most likely it'll be a
at least a major world title.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
But whatever, man. They put on a good performance trying to sell it when Becky got clobbed in the face.
That jab, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Boom.
That's great. I'm like, I saw that live.
Yeah, and then the replay's like, oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with Danny Bones. Just logically wise, it makes sense that they'll retain because SummerSlam's next month, so they'll retain. So I absolutely agree with Danny Bones. The next fight, which I think is possibly the main event because it's obviously Undertaker.
That's a good one.
It's the Dead Man and Roman Reigns for the first time tag teaming against the Scottish Psychopath against the best in the world now, Shane McMahon, who I love his heel turn.
That's gonna be great. I just sometimes I'm like, why is Undertaker still there? It's like, and I think about it, it's like, I feel like, because after the whole Saudi Arabia thing, there was a lot of backlash
criticism,
about it, the fact that him and Goldberg so old and stuff. And apparently he even liked the comment talking about why is he still wrestling and stuff but then I think about it, I'm like, to be honest, that's his decision,
Of course, he can stop when he's retired.
He's doing it for the money.
Yeah, WWE threw a lot of money at him.
WWE's throwing a lot of money for that, so. I'm not really upset about it, but yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. I
can't see Taker losing.
Shane McMahon, Roman Reigns, Undertaker, and Drew McIntyre.
Great match, yeah. I think Roman Taker wins. I don't see Taker losing this fight.
Same.
So I agree. The next one is the SmackDown WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe.
I hope Samoa Joe wins. I doubt it.
Me too. And it's
That'd
funny.
be great.
It's funny because I watched a promo yesterday. I think Kofi has had a different opponent post WrestleMania. And Money in the Bank, he fought Kevin Owens. Last month he fought. I forgot who he fought last month. Somebody else. And then he fought. Now he's fighting Samoa Joe. So I'm not sure where they're going with Kofi Kingston. Yeah. But like you mentioned, back to the whole SummerSlam rule, I don't see him dropping the belt at all.
I'm sure it'll be entertaining because Samoa Joe's everything.
Great promos.
He's always entertaining.
Great promos, absolutely
so
correct.
Entertaining.
I agree. I'm gonna go through some of them, not all of them, obviously. How about this one? The triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Daniel Bryan Rowan versus The New Day versus Heavy Machinery.
I don't care for that.
Yeah, me neither, but probably Bryan Rowan. All right. How about this one? This was just announced. I love this match. It's a inter-brand match. Aleister Black from SmackDown versus Cesaro. Two European guys.
Why are they doing that?
Because Aleister Black today announced SmackDown's opponent for Extreme Rules. So I guess he picked Cesaro. And I love that match, to be honestly. Two acrobatic guys, both from Europe. Both very gifted athletically. They both can wrestle. Cesaro's one of the best wrestlers in WWE, and so is Aleister Black. I don't know, the way Cesaro's been being pushed a lot since his post breakup with Sheamus, Aleister versus Cesaro. I'm gonna go with Cesaro because he's been in a push lately. Even though Aleister Black hasn't fought, he's been doing promos. So I got my boy Cesaro on this one. You?
I don't care for that.
The next one's a good match. When we saw it last night on Raw, it's Ricochet versus AJ.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be so good.
That's gonna be so great. Two acrobatic guys.
That was very well. That's gonna be great.
And you know that the club's gonna be involved somehow because obviously the heels always are there. Hopefully someone comes off a Ricochet. I mean, someone to fend off the club. But
that's gonna be a good one.
But yeah, great matches. Two veterans. They both been fighting each other since prior to New Japan and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go with Ricochet. He has the belt. He just got the belt. He beat Samoa Joe a few weeks ago. So I got Samoa Joe. And AJ Styles doesn't need a belt right now. He's already had multiple belts. So I guess it continued the feud maybe to SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens. The next one, I didn't think this was gonna happen because of what happened last week. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. I thought because of the whole,
That's gonna be good.
I agree. You remember last Extreme Rules when Bobby Lashley beat Roman Reigns and he still didn't get his title shot?
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah,
that sucks.
The stipulation was winner gets title shot, and he won. And then Vince goes, "Nah, let's do it again."
Yeah, on a Raw because it doesn't count on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, apparently.
That's been his biggest moment since he's been back. Headlining a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and then beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
he hasn't done anything else.
And then he goes, "Okay, no, you know what? You fight again." But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how these guys do it. Like
what, get a push and then kind of stop?
No, it's just like some of these guys don't even have anything. Like, why is EC3? Like, he's not doing. He's running around chasing Drake Maverick. It's like
you see in the backstage, right? I mean, some people are meant to be jobbers, man. But I understand what you mean. But I
would be so like. I feel like I don't know.
I get you.
I don't blame when people leave.
I don't get you. But remember, the money is being thrown at these guys.
Yeah,
that's the other factor. Is money thrown at you? But you bring up a good point, Danny Bones. And the last one, the Raw Tag Team Championships, the Revival versus the Usos. I love that match. I love the Usos, so I'm going for the Usos.
Who?
The Usos and the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
I love them.
We love the Usos. They've been on SmackDown for so long, I forgot about Raw. But overall, it seems like a good card. Overall, Extreme Rules, obviously, stipulations, Extreme Rules, obviously, the emphasis on that. But yeah. It's going to be a pretty good card. Got Extreme Rules Sunday, then Sakura Stevenson fights at his hometown Newark Saturday. Trying to think, is there anything else, just top of your head? Anything?
Top of my head, I don't know.
I don't know. The following Saturday, obviously, Pacquiao Thurman, we got that.
Right.
So we got to cover that. Then there's UFC the following week, I think. So, but this weekend, Extreme Rules and Sakura Stevenson, I think that's about it. On top of my head, I don't think it's any big zone fights. Bellator gets quiet now. But, yeah, it's about it. Anything else, any bones you want to add?
No, that's it. I'm looking forward to Extreme Rules. It's a good.
Because we hate Islamic grounds.
Yeah, the past two pay-per-views since WrestleMania have been terrible.
Yeah,
again, WWE's always in an awkward place post WrestleMania. Hopefully they get some traction off this one. I felt the build-up to this one was pretty good.
It was Monday. Pretty good. I agree.
Still, you have to see what happens on SmackDown tonight. But I'm pretty sure the build-up's going to be good, and then maybe they can run with this momentum into a really good SummerSlam.
And then the fall's always good. You got Survivor Series.
And then Royal Rumble, and then here we go again. I always felt like the between the big four, the biggest gap is between
Mania
and
4 months. Because
SummerSlam, everything else was like 3 months.
Because so Slam to Survivor is 3 months, and then Survivor to Royal Rumble is 2 months.
And after that's another 2 months.
Yeah.
So once I feel like once
summer's definitely
summer's probably. I mean,
it's a weird transition, like you said.
The worst part, I feel like the best part of WWE is always between. It's almost good, almost all year, all around. Except right after WrestleMania, it just makes you want to vomit.
Yeah, I mean, because I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown. I mean, we went last night, but I haven't watched Raw in about a good month.
Of course, WrestleMania season is always the best.
Absolutely correct. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for our subscribers. I got one more today at 95. We're almost at 100. Woohoo! Anyway, guys, thank you for following us. Please make sure to like, share this video, subscribe to our channel. Twitter at BumTalk_. And any questions, BumTalk1 at gmail.com. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care. Later. Peace.